What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the return already of Final Fantasy XVI. The song's called Away. Parentheses says, in parentheses it says Phoenix Theme OST. This is requested by a couple people, from Aiden, Tony, and Tokon. Now, the only reason this is here, again, similar to the last time, is because a Platinum member used up one of their spots to bump a song up. So, thank you, Aiden, for bumping this one up. So this is now my second song from 16 that I've heard, and a pretty popular one at that. And from what I'm seeing here, there's going to be footage, so spoilers, even for me. So I'm going to try my best to kind of not look at what's going on, because you never know, I may play this one day. You never know. But I do know that it's Soken, so it's cool. I've heard a couple songs from him once or twice before on this channel. So this is going to be my first time hearing, I guess, like a battle song. Final Fantasy 16 Away. Let's go. And as usual, I just, you know, it's if you're wondering why that happens, it's because I like to mute the tab when I click it, so I don't accidentally hear like 2 seconds of it. That's how anal I am about not hearing stuff. Anyways, let's go. All right, I'm gonna vaguely, like, peripheral vision look at it. Away. This is your spoiler warning, even for me. All I see is a bunch of fire on the screen. I see wings flapping. Oh shit. Whoa. Intense violins. I would say this is like more intense than typical 14 stuff I've heard. Okay. Ooh, snare. Way back there. That's cool. I'm not looking at the footage, but just from like the peripheral vision, it looks like it's syncing up to a bunch of explosions. So that's cool. Male choir. Pretty beefy. I think it might be all male choir. Jesse timing. I call that a Jesse moment around here. Damn, dude. Strong. I have no idea if that's in English or not. Probably Latin. so loud in my ears. There's like a war going on in here. I like that. The lighter choir to kind of disassemble it, bring you back down. I think that's just a loop already then. Dude, that percussion is intense. The energy has not let down once. Except for after the, like, chorus section a little bit. But, I mean... Oh, that's cool. It almost sounds a little EDM right there. Yeah, that violin lead can definitely be turned into, like, an EDM style beat. Oh. A bridge? Violins are killing it in the song. Ooh. Damn. Damn. I really want to see the footage, but I can't. That is a good tail end to that melody. The percussion here is so light. I feel like it's winding down. Okay, that just looks like gameplay. Okay, let's just pick a random screenshot here. Maybe something looks epic. Yeah, it looks sick. Okay. Well, so if you had not seen my first reaction to 16, you know, I'm very honest, and I tell you exactly how I feel and how I react to it. This is a reaction thing, after all. It didn't really like wow me, the first one. It was more like, oh, okay, you know, like, cool. But I think that's kind of like my overall, I don't want to say disinterest, but well, put yourself in my position. I have thousands of people all the time asking me, when am I going to play 16? When am I going to play 16? I never said I was playing 16, but people just assume that I'm going to play it, which is a big no-no. You know, I play games on if I want to, and also the soundtrack. So, yeah, never assume. So it was like that pressure plus the song just was kind of, you know, it was good, but it didn't really like do anything for me. But I told myself, I'm like, well, you know, it's just one song, you know, there's a whole other soundtrack. And it's happened before, even with Soakin'. I've heard a lot of Soakin'. If you're new and you never see me do any 14 videos on this channel, first of all, where have you been? And second, I've heard a lot of Soakin'. More than anyone probably on this whole channel. Like probably like 70 videos of him or something. And even then, I've heard some songs that weren't like totally captivating from him. But most of them, yes. So, now as far as this one I had some high hopes because I I heard a lot about it. It's requested a lot. It was also bumped up. You have to realize, no, not to be pretty transparent, my platinum tier is not cheap. So someone, you know, spends their hard-earned money to bump a song up, to skip the line, and they thought it was worth it. So it's always, you know, it always kind of puts a on it. It's like, why would, what would make someone pay that much to hear it, you know? So that being said, this song was really cool. The intensity off the bat really captured me. It was a tiny little build-up, but then the whole song was just like 0 to 60, and then it just stayed at 60. Maybe went to like 50 every now and then, but it was just like, I don't know if that expression is known around the world, but here we say 0 to 60, which is like, you know, from like nothing to like full explosion right away. Violins in this one were kind of the takeaway for me. I really love the violins. I don't think I've ever heard violins that intense in any Soken song until now. That was, and in general, one of the more intense songs I've heard from Soken. That was a really high energy, but also very like scary and big, epic song. But the violins are really doing it for me. They were really quick and very precise. And again, right from the beginning, so it was just like, whoa, okay, you have my attention. I noticed the vocals came in, and that was a big part of the song, is the kind of the male choir taking most of the vocal. And I believe once the kind of chorus section ends and it kind of dwindles down to the next verse, the female choir kind of like airs it out a little bit. They don't say many words, but they're there, and then it starts over. There's one thing that comes to mind, and it's not Final Fantasy XIV. A little bit, but and that's the FromSoft games. I've never played a FromSoft game, but I've heard a few songs here: Bloodborne, Dark Souls, etc. That's kind of what it reminded me of a little bit, although not as dark. Still kind of, whoa, you know, kind of feels like imminent danger and the thought of like, you know, being KO'd right away type of thing. Like being on your toes type of thing. Now, I wasn't looking at the footage. It was in my peripheral vision. I can see it like here. So I just see a bunch of explosions, and I saw a life bar. So it's definitely a battle. And again, I do that just so I don't, because who knows, maybe I do want to play it someday. But I just, one, I don't want to be influenced by what I think I hear. And two, again, just spoilers. I'm not a fan of spoilers at all. So, but from what I see, you know, we saw Phoenix, and I see Phoenix in the title, so obviously there's like Firebird in there, and I saw flight, wings, and explosions. So pretty on brand with what I heard. Just very intense, like kind of war in my head. Don't know what the language was. It's really hard to understand a choir with that many people. Final Fantasy is like known for like Latin stuff, but also English. It's kind of hard to understand though. So I have no idea. Please let me know. Speaking of which, it sounded like there's a lot of musicians here. A lot. Like over 50. It's crazy. Like the amount of percussion and powerfulness, and especially how many mics were used. I wonder if they ever, like, I wonder if Soken ever has any like behind the scenes footage. I never looked it up about like how big, like, 'cause a lot of his compositions are so gigantic. Oh, that reminds me. I didn't write this down, but as soon as I said it, it reminded me. Soken's music, from now that what I've gathered, is, I'm almost positive, I don't know this for sure, just my observation, but I'm almost positive he writes specifically for the scene in question, the game in question, and not necessarily like for listening to outside of the game. Not that you can't, but I feel like every song I've heard from this man has been like, it's for this moment and for this moment only. Again, you can definitely hear songs on their own, but I think, for example, I've said this in 14's videos where I'm like, I really wish I could hear the sound effects like in the game, like all the explosions, the buttons. Like I still don't know what 14 sounds like sound effect wise, but I'm assuming all of that plus the music is a pretty intense feeling, and what adds to that, of course, like any other game, but especially in this one, you know, in this one, the song was already filled with sound, and I can only imagine voice lines, explosions, whatever is going on, and that really makes for a cinematic, really cool experience. So the song can definitely live on its own. I'm not saying that. It's just, I really feel that he writes specifically for what is there, and not to have a kind of overall music experience, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But speaking of which, on that, let me segue. I really wish more people did this. No one really does this anymore, or at all. But I really wish composers and developers did this more. And I don't think, maybe they think people are not interested, but people like me are interested. So if you're a developer out there, or Square, what's up? Hi, big fan. But if you ever do like special releases, ultimate editions, you know, all those like high tier things, you should always release, well, one, the soundtrack, but also the stems of the soundtrack. So the recordings, people are interested in that, you know? So like, for example, like this song had so many layers. I would love to hear the choir by itself, the violin by itself, the drums by itself, everything. I just love hearing everything taken apart. I'm pretty good at doing that with my own ear and brain to isolate things, but just to hear things on their own, to like really appreciate it, I think it's like an overlooked art. I don't know why. Maybe they're afraid of people like butchering their songs together, but it's a really cool thing. It should be the standard. If you tell me that I can buy an Ultimate Edition and you can tell me the stems come with it, that's what they're called, by the way, for engineers and all that. It's called the stems. So like the guitar and something. Imagine hearing your favorite band and then like on the back of the like another disc has just like everything by itself. The drums by itself, the vocals by itself. It's cool. I'm rambling. Away. Don't know why it's called Away. Very good. Very good. And I feel like this is a song that gets better with time, and of course, in the moment, for sure. Because I don't know what's going on here, but like I'm looking at that and I'm just like, damn, okay. Seems very action-packed. And again, some of the most intense stuff from Soken I've heard, violin-wise and energy-wise. That was pretty intense. This is the kind of sound that I expected 16 to sound like, if that makes any sense. So that's exciting. At least battle themes. I don't know how, if there's any other like calmer music. Anyways, I'm rambling. Away from Final Fantasy 16. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Aiden, Tony, and Tocom, and everyone else who's requested it. We've redeemed ourselves from the first one, but it's all good. Damn, I just can't keep looking at that. It looks sick. Anyways, oh, and the moon in the back? I love moons. Anywho, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. Thanks to everyone that you see on the screen. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse again. Peace.